Good morning and welcome to our grammar clinic. And today's focus is on future tenses. So, my name is Christine. I'm part of the ESTs at the Manchester campus, your English support tutors, and I will be hosting today's grammar session. Okay, so let's get into it. As mentioned, our topic is future tenses, and we're going to have a good look at what that consists of and how to integrate into our general language. Okay, so our agenda for today is we're going to be looking at the following in our agenda, okay, for today. So at this session, we're going to look at going to when we use the words as in I am going to do an action, present continuous, and present simple. So those are our three focus areas for today. So let's have a look at going to and how we can incorporate that into our daily language. So when we use the term going to, we are making the future simple by using am, is, or are going to, and then we're going to add that to the base of a verb. Okay. So I am going to fly in the aeroplane. I'm going to visit my gran in the weekend. We are going to the restaurant for dinner. Those are types of examples that we can use the I'm going to. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So the first one is flying. Okay, this is a future tense. It's going to happen in the near future, so that's why it's future simple. Okay, now let's get into going to a bit more. So it's commonly used to express your intention. So it's something you are going to do in the future. You're planning on doing this and predictions based on your evidence. So, for example, if you finish the last of your milk in the morning when making your coffee, you will go, or I will go to the store later. Okay, so I'm going to the store after work. So, based on that incident in the morning, it has allowed you to say, I'm going to the store after work. So basically, you are talking about a decision that you have already made. Okay, so this is a very firm decision that has been made, and it is with the intent of completing the action. It's not something that's airy fairy and not yet concrete. However, it is something that you will be doing or you have the highest intentions of completing. Okay, so this is as an example sentence. I am going to start exercising next week. So you have the intention, you probably have your gym membership if you're going into the gym, or you got a new pair of running shoes. So there is ample evidence for you to complete that action. Okay, as in, I'm going to the movies next week with your friends. You have bought your movie tickets, you've met your friends, you've agreed on a date and time, and you were all going to watch the movie together. So that is a general scenario of when we are using the term going to. Okay, so let's get into that a little bit more. Now we're going to look at making predictions based off your evidence. So this is used when the speaker predicts something will happen because they are present signs or evidence. So if you were outside and you look at the clouds and they look a bit dark and gloomy, there's ample evidence in saying, look at the cloud, it is going to rain. Okay, so it wouldn't be like you're expecting the sun to shine, you are making a natural prediction based on your evidence. If there's a puddle of water and it's in a very high traffic area with lots of foot traffic, you could say, look at the puddle. Um, I'm going to mop that up before somebody falls. Okay, so you want to predict. You saw an accident waiting to happen, you predicted it could happen, and then you taking an action to change the circumstance of what could happen. So now we can talk about getting fixed or near fixed certain actions. So these are actions or events that are almost certain to happen because lots of preparations has been made. Okay, for example, if it's your friend's birthday next week and they're in London, you would get your train ticket. You would tell your friend, I'm coming in on that day. So you know that you are going to follow through on that action and your friend is anticipating you coming through. So be like, I am going to Sarah's birthday party in London. So it is a firm, fixed action, and you have taken steps to ensure it will be fulfilled. So this can also be used in a business sense, as in you have put in all the work to launch this new product. Okay, all the teams have been working together on the new product launch or product, and therefore you can say they are going to launch in the new product next month. Okay, so that is a fairly accurate description of the action that is going to be undertaken because everyone has worked together and the end result is inevitable, as in it will be launched next month. Okay, so we're going to look at some more examples in context, and these are one looking at your everyday plans. So these are things that you will put together while talking, and it's a very natural occurrence. Okay, so it'll be like, I need to see my friends. It's been a while since I've seen them. Let me message them, check if they're free to meet. Your friends agree to meet, and then you will say, I am going to visit my friends after work. Okay, so this is a plan that's been concrete, it's been agreed on, it will follow through. Now, for example, if somebody has registered to study at a university and they put in their options for engineering and they get the acceptance letter, you can say, he is going to study engineering at university. Because again, the outcome has been decided already. Okay, so the next example is example with predictions with evidence. Okay, this is when we look at the surroundings and we base a prediction off that. So, looking at your watch should be up. Look at the time. Okay, we are going to be late. You've been having a good morning, have a train to catch, and you have quite forgotten what time it is. You have a quick look at your watch, you realize you have 30 minutes to make sure you get to the train station. So you have to get going. Okay, so if you are not going to leave on time, you will be late. So therefore, you'll say, look at the time. We are going to be late. Another example is the baby is crying. And because she's a bit crabby and a bit irritable, you know she's going to need a nap soon. Okay. So the next example is your intentions and preparations. We are going to paint the house this weekend. So we are going, so it's obviously a joint. It's more than one person and what preparations because you have undertaken to ensure this is a certainty. One, got your paintbrushes, all the essential tools needed for painting, and you could have your smocks ready. So everything is in order. You just need to get ready to paint. And next example sentence, she's going to apply for the scholarship. So she has filled in all the necessary details related to the scholarship, all the forms, and now she's ready to hand it in to apply. Okay, so now I'm going to look at the key difference to am going to will. Okay, so will is often used for a spontaneous decision, something that's made on the quick at the moment. Not too much thought behind it, very little to none preparation about it. However, as we discussed, the prediction going to has a lot more preparation behind it. There's a lot more evidence to say this action will take place due to the preparation that was used. Will is very quick, spontaneous, no planning or little to none behind it. Okay, so let's have a look at this in more depth. So an example we're going to, I'm going to buy a new car next month. So obviously this is a carefully planned decision because you don't walk into a car dealership every day and say, I would like a new car. Obviously, it takes a lot of time, preparation for you to get a new car. However, if you say, I will buy a new car someday, this is changing this now because you haven't really thought out what car you're going to buy, which dealership is going to happen, what type of car, what's my budget like. It's just like I will want to buy a car, but someday. Not yet. Maybe sometime in the future. No fixed time frame. And of course, no planning towards that. So going to is used widely in informal and conversational English to express future events that are already thought out or backed by evidence. Now, we're going to have an exercise for you to do. So if you're watching this via video, take the time to pause the video and have a look at the answers in a bit. So I have the following 5 sentences that have a blank in between them, and you need to fill in the blank. Okay, so you are either going to choose between will be going to, and that will be the correct form of it. Okay, so using the correct form of be going to, fill that into the first sentence. I blank visit my grandparents this weekend to look at those dark clouds. It's blank rain soon. She blank study medicine at university next year. For they blank build a new shopping mall in the city center. 5 blank watch a movie tonight at 8 p.m. Okay, have a good think about that and we'll go over the answers in a bit. Okay, so let's get ready to check those answers. If you are still busy with those answers, you're more than welcome to press pause and play when you're ready to check your answers. Okay, let's look at the first sentence. So I visit my grandparents this weekend will change into I'm going to visit my grandparents. Look at the dark clouds. It's going to rain. She, she's going to study medicine at the university next year. Number 4, they are going to build a new shopping mall in the city center. And 5, we are going to watch a movie at 8 p.m. All right, so let's look at present continuous of the future. So we make present continuous by using I am, is, or are, and then we add an ing to the verb, okay? Is meeting. I am meeting my friend. She is graduating. So it's either the use of am, is, or are, and then your verb, as indicated here, has an ing. So meeting, graduating. Okay, so let's look at that a bit more in depth. So with present continuous, you will say, I am seeing. So there's the am, okay? So using purple, I am seeing Anne at 4 on Monday. And there's your ing from your verb ing. Okay, so the seeing has been attached. Okay, so as it is now present continuous, that is an example of it. Okay, so let's go on to the next slide. Okay, so present continuous we're going to use to express it for future events. Okay, however, focus on future and focus on planned or arranged. So it is very much a future event. However, it has been Planned with consideration. There have been actions that have been undertaken to make sure it occurs in the future. And these arrangements have been made by yourself or somebody else or another organization or body. So it will definitely occur. The action will definitely occur in the future. Okay, so when do we use this? We use this when we're talking about fixed plans or arrangements. Okay, so the present continuous is used to express definite plans or arrangements that are already scheduled. For example, if you were starting a new job, you would know at some time in the future you will start the new job, okay? You would have to place your notice with your current job and apply, and then you'll be given a start date. That is a start date in the future. So, for example, she is starting her new job on Monday, okay? And can you see we got the is and then the starting. So start is made up of the start and our ing. So that is what we use when we are using present continuous. Okay, so let's look at another way we can go about that. So as we mentioned, we use it when we are talking about fixed plans or arrangements, and this is also used. Another example there of the same one. Okay, so harm in that. So when you're emphasizing personal or social plans, so when you get together with your friends or family and you're having a great time and you just realize how much you enjoy spending time with them, then you'll talk about the next get together. What can we do next as a group? Okay. And one way to incorporate that in present continuous is when you are describing um, meetings, outings, activities involving multiple people. Okay, so an example of this is we are having, so there's the are, we are having, and then the have is, let me do that again. Having is made up of have and the ing. So we drop the I when we put that together. Okay. So we are having a picnic this Saturday. Also, we are having a birthday party for May. So what we want to do is to avoid using will for informality. So present continuous is often preferred in informal context instead of will or going to, making speech sound more natural. An example of that is I am meeting him later. Okay, so if you want to stick to formal, then you'll be using will and going to. So let's focus on formality. And let's look at some examples in context in your daily life. I'm going shopping with Sarah tomorrow. We are having dinner at 7 p.m. tonight. In work education, he's presenting his project to the team next week. We are starting the new course in January. If you have in travel plans, example of that is they are flying to Tokyo next Thursday, and I'm staying at a hotel near the beach next weekend. Okay, so let's look at the key difference between will and present continuous. So present continuous implies a higher level of certainty, okay, because it refers to your actions that are already been arranged and planned. I am meeting him tomorrow versus I will meet him. So there's one sounds much more definite and the other sounds a bit more haven't yet decided where we will meet him or what time. Okay. So that comes across very clearly when you're using I am meeting him tomorrow in spite of I will. Okay. So you often want to use them with expressions to make it very clear. Okay. So there's no misunderstanding and everyone understands what is being said. So here we have a present continuous exercise. And I have some sentences here that need to be rewritten. Okay, so you're going to create sentences from our prompts. And the prompts are, the first one, go to the beach on Sunday. Second prompt, start a new project next Monday. Have a meeting tomorrow at 3 p.m. Number 4, celebrate her birthday this weekend. 5, travel to Spain next summer. Now, your answers may vary from mine, okay, because these are your personal answers. However, if you follow the general rule, they should be matching in with using the correct context of going to the beach, okay? But your pronouns may change. We may not have the same pronouns. Okay, so have a think about this, and we will check our answers in a bit. Thank you. Let's have a look at our answers. If you are still busy with your answers, press pause for now and play when you're ready to check your answers. Okay, so an example answer is I am going to the beach on Sunday. Okay, and as mentioned before, going. So we added the ing to our verb, and I am. Let's look at our next example answer. I am starting a new project. So you can see the starting, going. Let's look at the next example answer for number 3. I am having a meeting tomorrow at 3 p.m. Again, having, E dropped off. Number 4, she's celebrating her birthday this weekend. Celebrating, E dropped off, added to the ing. Example answer for number 5. I am traveling to Spain next year. Now, traveling has 2 L's here. Okay. All right, so let's look at our present simple for the future. So what is present simple for the future? It's when you take your present simple by adding or by using your subject and your base verb, okay? So you have your subject and your base verb by itself. So the verb doesn't have any other adjunctions to it, okay? So an example is it opens, and then your subject would be it, and then opens is your base verb. Base V. Now, the plane leaves, your subject is the plane, okay? And then leaves is your subject verb. All right, so let's have a look at that. So the bus leaves at 8 a.m. on a Wednesday. Okay, so your subject is the bus. You got your base verb leaves, and then more information on a Wednesday, the time. So when is the bus leaving? On Wednesday. That is your future time. Okay, so how do we know when or when present simple is being used? Because it's on a timetable and it's going to be happening every time, every Wednesday. Okay, so let's look a bit more into present simple. Present simple is made up of scheduled events. These events are part of a timetable, fixed schedule, often related to public transport, events, or official programs. For example, I'll take the tram every day between 8 and 10. So there's about 2 trams that pop in around that time. So I know to anticipate a tram will be there at the station. An example of that is the plane departs at 8:30. In my case, would be the tram departs at 8:10 a.m. All right, so when also be using present simple in formal arrangements, it's used in formal contexts that refer to planned events or social schedules. Okay, for example, the conference starts on Tuesday. Talking about fixed deadlines, when to use referring to deadlines or specific points in time that are not flexible. Example, the assignment is due next Friday. So let's look at more context and more examples of those contexts. So our context is looking at timetables and schedules. Example sentences are the bus arrives at 7:15 a.m. every weekday. Another example is the movie starts at 8 p.m. tonight. Okay, next type of context situation is work or education plans. The semester ends in December and the shop opens at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Then you have events and deadlines. The train to London leaves at 6 p.m. And second example sentence, the results are announced next week. So here we have an exercise we're going to participate in, and we are going to fill in the blank with the correct form of the verb in present simple. Okay, so don't mix up the different types of tenses we just done. We are looking at present simple. So the first example sentence is the train blank leave at 7 p.m. Number two, the concert blank start at 8:30 p.m. tomorrow. Number three, our semester blank end in December. Number four, the bus blank arrive every day at 6:15 a.m. Number five, the meeting blank take place next week, Monday at 10 a.m. Okay, so have a good think about this and we will reveal the answers in a bit. Okay, please press pause if you are still busy with your answers and play when you are ready to start. Okay, so the train leaves at 7 p.m. The concert starts at 8:30 p.m. tomorrow. Our semester ends in December. The bus arrives every day at 6:15 and the meeting takes place at 10 a.m. And do you see it's the same base, which is an S at the end there. Okay, so the base shouldn't change. So here we have a mixed practice where you have a mixture of different types of sentences and you need to have go at filling them in. So they have blanks and you are going to choose going to, present simple, or present continuous. Okay, so have a big think about that, and I will reveal the answers in a minute. Okay, let's have a look at those answers. I am visiting my parents, grandparents this weekend. This is a planned arrangement, okay? So that is why you will use I am visiting. Number two, the train leaves. This is a scheduled timetable event, so the base verb will stay the same. We are going to the cinema tonight. This is a planned arrangement, so we'll use we are going. Number four, look at those clouds. It is going to rain. Again, evidence prediction. You can see the clouds. You know it's going to rain. Number five, the school term starts. This is a fixed schedule. That's the start date of the school term has been decided long in advance, and we are all aware of it. Number six, she is going to study medicine. So it's an intention. She's obviously applied. She's been accepted. Number seven, our flight departs. Okay. Timetable event. And having they are having dinner with us on Saturday. All right, so if you want some extra practice with the future tense, focusing on what we have done today, please take a minute to scan the following QR code and have a go at that. Also, if you want to provide feedback on today's workshop, please do so by scanning the code. And I'm Christine. This is my colleague Kieran. And please feel free to reach out to us. Drop us an email on the email address provided here. We can help with presentation skills, assignment skills, your general academic skills. We offer in-person and online sessions. Thank you very much for attending today's session.